I'm up at Madolyn's ranchito, and I was going to ask her about her dad since Father's Day's approaching. Do you have any good memories you'd like to share?
I have a few.
Okay.
He was pretty good about trying to make everybody tough.
What was his name?
Tom Nasworthy.
Oh yes,
or T-Naz.
I do remember
we'll talk
him.
about Tom Nasworthy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was good about trying to make you tough when you were growing up.
I think it worked.
I guess, maybe so. But one of the memories I have of him was when we were pretty young. I think I was 5. My brother and I were going to make a picture for my mother, like the eggshell pictures. But we didn't have any eggs. And so we went out to the pasture and found a bunch of the old snail shells that are really hard. And so TD and I were going to crush them up. So the only thing we could crush them with really good was we put them between 2 gears and a pump jack. And TD was cranking the pump jack, and I was putting the snail shells in there. And he went a little faster and caught my finger in it and pulled it down in there. And by the time I yelled at him to pull it back out, go backwards, it had cut it all the way through the finger and through the knuckle.
Oh my God.
So I grabbed it.
It's a wonder you survived with TD around.
That was just one of TD's.
I know.
If we ever do it for TD's birthday, you can just come up here and sit for about an hour.
You're going to show us scars.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, so I held it, went inside, and Mother told TD to go down to the roping arena and get Dad, which he just went outside and screamed for him. And he came riding up on his horse from the roping arena, and he had always told us that we weren't supposed to cry unless it was something bad. So this was the deal. He was teaching us to be tough, and so I'm standing there holding my finger like this, and he grabs it and pulls it down like this, and when he does, the tip end of it kind of falls off because it was being held by just skin, and he looks at it for a minute, and he picks it up, puts it back in the napkin that we had it on, and said, "Go ahead and squeeze it back." And then he looked at me and he says, "Well, okay, you can cry if you want to." So that was one of the things that, you know, he.
How did you get the fingertip?
We came to town, and they.
Oh, okay. On
the way there, all he kept looking at me and saying was, "Now that's your trigger finger, and you were going to get to kill a deer next year."
Oh my God.
And so they put me in a splint. They'd stitched it up and put me in a splint, and I kept trying to move it every time because he always checked with me and said, "You know, are you trying to move that finger? Because that's your trigger finger." But, you know, it worked pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't have any problem on the police department either, so.
They were good at sewing fingertips on at the Menard Hospital.
And that's just one of my many TD scars. So thanks, TD.
Oh my God, let me see. Okay, I can't see too well in my old age. Maybe it'll show up on the camera.
I think it took 5 stitches.
Okay, well, we used to live next door to you, as you remember, and I always enjoyed Tommy Nasworthy and all his stories, so thank you for sharing it with us.
Well, he also was one of the first ones with CB radios, and I think you probably remember the chicken fighter base, and FCC's probably still looking for him for that, but that was kind of the T-Naz part. So
he did get hobbies and go a little overboard.
Slightly.
His muzzle loading. Yeah. He was always there for all the boys whose father had run off or were dead or something.
I will
say gathered at your house.
With archery, he did get us started in archery, and
well, good.
Ginger's still in it as a professional, so
I know.
I guess we can go there with that.
So. Okay, well, thanks, Madolyn.
All righty, thank you.